Hey Siri, how do I make money as a digital creator? How can I make money from my creativity? What's the best cost hosting platform in Africa?
To do that, you'll need to be online.
All right, I'm online. What's next? Everyone has a story to tell. The difference is in how we tell them. As a creator, you tell your stories with the content you create. Our job is to give you a platform to monetize your content. So the next time you think about digital products, think Seller. Get started for free on seller.co today.
This is Uzoma. He's a course creator. He sells ebooks and makes roughly $2,000 monthly from his course sales. Do you know where he hosts his courses, ebooks, and digital products? Seller. He even built sales pages with Seller Page Builder. Now, this is Alona. She's a freelance corporate and she has customers in the UK and USA. She even gets paid at least $1,000 for her services and gets the platform she processes her payment with. Seller. Now, this is Kwame. He is an affiliate marketer and actively promotes Aluna's course using the swift and easy to use affiliate marketing feature on Seller. In fact, he just joined the affiliate network where he has access to thousands of courses he can promote. Why aren't you selling on Seller? Everyone is selling on Seller, but you. Sign up on Seller today.
When life gives you lemons, create an online course on how to make lemonade and sell it on Seller. This lemonade name was sweet self.
Being a creator is a lot. We understand the effort you put into your creative work, always showing up and delivering value. We see you. As a creator, we know you need to be supported. And that's why Show Love by Seller was created just for you. Show Love enables you to easily accept tips and donations from your supporters and fans all over the world. With Show Love, your fans, community, audience, and followers can now reward you for all the hard work you put in. What's more, you can receive these tips and donations from anyone, anywhere in the world. To get started, all you have to do is go to www.seller.co/showlove, fill in your details, and in less than 5 minutes, you can set up your Show Love page and start accepting tips. It's as easy as ABC. So what are you waiting for? Over 10,000 creators are using Show Love, and you should be one of them.
Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to this webinar hosted by Seller. Today we'll be talking about building wealth as a digital creator, and we have two amazing speakers speaking with us today. So the first person we have is AK Urum, the CEO of Rise. AK is a registered investment advisor, the founder and CEO of Rise, a wealth management company that allows everyday people to invest in the best opportunities worldwide. AK is passionate about leveraging technology and financial expertise to provide financial solutions for Africans. Hi, AK, can you hear me?
Hi, thank you, Treasury. Yes, glad to be here. Appreciate the info.
Thank you so much for honoring our invitation to speak with you. It's an honor. The next person we have is Sheriff Adeoti, the head of finance at Rise. Sheriff is a distinguished economist with a first class honors from the University of Ilorin in Nigeria. Currently, he's serving as an investment analyst at Risevest Technologies, where he leads a team managing a $5 million portfolio across equities, real estate, and fixed income markets. His journey also includes an investment research analyst role at Gifted Analyst Research, and he's committed to excellence and is a sought after speaker and thought leader in the economics and investment domain. Hello, Sheriff. Welcome to this event. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good evening. I'm Treasure. Thank you for having me.
Good evening. It's an honor and a delight to have both of you here today with us, especially considering the topic that we're going to be discussing today, which is dear to so many users that use Seller, which is how to build wealth as a creator. And we feel like both of you have such vast experience when it comes to this topic. So we're really looking forward to gaining insight and knowledge from both of you today. So I'm going to just take turns asking each of you questions that would educate our audience on the importance of building wealth as a creator in 2024, how to build wealth, sustainable ways to build wealth, considering how the global economic market has been lately, especially in Nigeria. So, yes, we're just going to dive into the topic and we're going to have an amazing time. For our listeners, if at any point you have a question, just leave it in the comment box. And when we're done with the entire session, we'll come back and answer some of these questions that you might have. So we're going to start with AK. So the first question I have for you is this. What unique challenges or opportunities do creators in Africa face when it comes to building wealth? And how does Rise position itself to address these challenges?
Thank you for that question. Again, very excited to have this conversation with you and all the customers and members of the seller community. One of the challenges that we believe our creators have is the fact that their incomes are not very structured. And so when you're thinking about building wealth, you need at least a base of consistent income so that building wealth is like it's like literally building blocks, right? And so one of those building blocks is consistent income, which allows you to know exactly how much you're investing at all times towards your wealth goals. Another challenge is that because they tend to work for themselves, there's no structured like retirement plans or things that would say, okay, after working for X number of years, here's how much you're going to walk away with, whether it's for retirement and all. And so for wealth, if you define wealth as the ability to earn income without constantly doing actual work, then you realize that for a creative person, they tend to find themselves in a situation where they must do some kind of work in order to earn income, and then they
Yeah.
don't have a structured plan for retirement. So how does Rise then address some of these challenges? So the first is that Rise has a plan, our Build Wealth plan, which allows anyone to create their own retirement plan, right? So you can set a goal and say, I want to be earning X amount of money passively, right? If I'm making $20,000 income without work, my investments is generating this amount of money, then I can retire maybe 20, maybe 30, maybe 50, maybe 100. And then Rise can tell you, okay, put away this amount of money every month over this amount of time. And once you hit that number, you'll be able to generate enough returns from your investments in order to not have to work again. So for the average creative person, you have a target, you have a way to create your own retirement plan, right? And if you stay consistent with it, you get to a point where your investments are making enough money that whether you work or not, you are getting consistent regular income in dollars, which should be a goal for every single person that is a creative. So that's one of the ways that I believe Rise is creating a solution that creative people can take advantage of in order to build wealth for themselves.
Thank you so much for that very educated response. I like it because it reminded me that companies usually do that for people, right? People who work or do 9 to 5 jobs, companies do that. They give you a pension plan, they give you all these plans to help you when you retire. And so it's amazing that Rise is providing a solution for people who do not have that structure to sort of like alleviate the financial burdens that they might face later on in life. Thank you so much for that. So Sheriff, I have a
Okay.
question for you as well. Um, what are some of the notable trends or shifts that you have seen in the investment landscape that creators should be aware of in 2024? I remember when I was very young, there was this whole move towards buying stocks. So people used to buy stocks from banks, right? It was very popular in 20, like in the early 20s, I'm sorry, 2010s. So I want to know, like, has that changed in 2024? And how can creators take advantage of these trends or shifts that we are currently facing in the market?
Thank you for that question. And like you said, going into the 2009, 2010. So for you to buy stocks or own stocks, you either go to the brokers or the banks. That, okay, I want a share of Dangote Cement or this is X and Y company, and then they buy those kind of stocks for you. But that has shifted a lot because in the last few years, we have seen a lot of fintechs come up that you can buy stocks at a click. Just click your hand, any stock you feel like you want, just buy it from your phone or from your app or even from your laptop. So they have made this way easier than it used to be. So this is a way whereby content creators can take advantage of their tech service to some extent. They are competent with the digital space. They know how these apps work. They know how some of these things, how easy they can be to you. So there's a huge shift from the way people buy and interact with investments um, in the last decade compared to where we are right now, and even going forward. So we are going to even see a lot of changes going forward in the investment landscape now. So some of the changes, like you said, traditionally it used to be that you have to go to the brokers, and now you have to do it online. So another change is that now you can see financial or robo advisors whereby with your app, okay, this is the investment goal I have. For instance, on the Rise website, okay, say for instance you want to retire with $100,000. That's like your retirement goal. So just tell the Rise website there's a plan there. Okay, I want to retire so amount of money, putting in so amount of money. So it's going to calculate the amount you need to put in every month in order to reach your goal. So that's like a different way. Something like this, it was very, very uncommon. So this is like the way we use AI, artificial intelligence, to like to power some of these things going forward. Now also, so in the next the landscape has even changed a bit because in 2009 was when cryptocurrency actually came into limelight. Now we have crypto in mainstream. Everybody's talking about bitcoins. We have stocks in mainstream. We have even alternative investments like the private equity. So, for instance, we have a product called asset base, whereby you can trade private properties, like you can own private properties. So, some of these things are not that mainstream, like over the last decade, but now they are coming to the mainstream, and then they are becoming available to everyone on the digital space and on the internet. So, it's an exciting one. The current landscape we are right now, and going forward, it even seems more exciting, and there's a lot of new opportunities coming for content creators and for anyone looking to build wealth over time.
Thank you so much for that. I actually agree. I feel like creators have a huge opportunity to make wealth right now. If only they are like conversant with it or they are aware of what we have. And that's why we're doing this space. So more creators can know about the opportunities out there that they can take advantage of. So back to Eke. So you're a tech founder of an investment platform. How has technology and innovation shaped the landscape of financial success in today's world?
Thanks for that question. So technology has really been transformative. I tell people that the internet is one of my favorite things that has happened, at least for Nigerian and African individuals, right, over the last 10 years. For instance, now we're no longer limited to the investment opportunities that, back in the day, they're like, oh, there's a business someone is starting, or a friend of yours is running a company, or there's a number of stocks that your stockbroker is offering based on what's available in your market. Today, you can invest across the world, right? You can decide, oh, I live in Ghana, but I have investments in Dubai, I have investments in the US, I have investments globally, right? So there are platforms that make it possible to invest everywhere in the world. So you're no longer limited by your geographical location, and that has been made possible because of the internet and because of technology. I think another thing that has changed is the ability to live in, and I think this is something that I give Stella a lot of credits for, because you can live in one place and serve customers and audiences everywhere. So now it wasn't possible before that, oh, I can create content and then I'll monetize it on the internet. So I'll teach people in Ghana, I'll publish a book, and someone in Sri Lanka will buy it, or someone in South Africa. So technology has made it such that the universe of people that I can offer my services has really expanded, right? So someone can be in the UK and be running a class for people in Nigeria. Someone can publish a book here, and someone in the US will buy and read that book and pay you for it. So there's a number of people within our space who are creatives. Let me use an example. Someone like Renike, who is an artist. I patronize her. She did some artwork for me, but then someone in the US discovered her and paid for an artwork, and she shipped it to them, right? So the world has become a global village, and you have the ability to really make money from anywhere. Things like platforms like Upwork and all serve that same function of globalizing the opportunities available for every young person. And in fact, I feel like we're just at the early stages of that transformation, because it's even accelerating as we speak. So those are some of the things that I feel technology has done to make it easier for a young person to build wealth today.
Thank you. I agree with you. It has given us a lot of access. I do feel that for a lot of creators, one of the reasons why they feel a little apprehensive when it comes to investment is that they're scared of losing money. And we hear all these stories of people losing money. And so people want to just like gather the eggs they have in their basket instead of confronting the idea of multiplying those eggs. So this question is for Sheriff. How can creators balance risk and reward when considering investment opportunities? For many of them, their means of income are quite unstable, and so when they have the money, there's this tendency to just want to hold on to it. So, how are creators able to like balance risk and reward essentially when it comes to like investing?
Okay, thank you. Like you said, you could decide to just get your earnings and then put it in your bank account and keep looking at it. But don't forget the danger lurking, inflation. So let's say, for instance, now you collected $1,000 and then you converted it to naira, you put in your bank account. That 1 million naira last year, you cannot buy the same thing you want to buy this year. So that inflation, that battle, that devaluation battle. So that's the unique challenge about Nigeria. So we have inflation, we have devaluation. So those are the two things that you need to like. It makes rice does what it does. In the fact that we want to protect you against inflation and we want to protect you against devaluation. So now, for you now as a creator or as someone that is interested in building wealth, maintaining say a good lifestyle, basically you need to like look for the best risk adjusted return. So that's the term we use. So it says that, okay, look at, okay, what's my risk appetite? I'm someone, I don't take aggressive risk. I just want you to give me steady return. Let my money be safe. Return on capital is better than any return you want to give me. So there are people like that. So once you understand yourself, you understand your risk tolerance, so then you can now start making decision. Okay, so because I find it very interesting whereby people spend more time gossiping or doing other things than your own hard-earned money. Where do you put this money? So like, okay, you have $1,000 now. You know that, okay, this money it's a hard-earned money. You sweat, you do a lot of writing, a lot of editing, a lot of script writing, a lot of acting to get this money. Now the next thing is to do is just to blow the money or just keep it in your bank account. No. So that's why I try. So some of the things we do are very, very unique. For instance, okay, we have three unique offerings. We have the stock, we have the real estate, we have the fixed income. So if you know that, I don't have risk appetite, I just want you to give me a steady return and then keep my money safe. You can do a fixed income plan such that you get 10% per annum. That's like above inflation, even devaluation, if you look at it. So you are fine with that. If okay, me, I'm someone that, okay, my risk level is a bit higher, so I can do the real estate plan of right such that, okay, you get your monthly return and then your capital appreciation so is relatively stable and fixed. So that's like another offering that wealth creators can also use. So there's also the stock aspect also that you can also get exposure also to. So it's so the first thing I feel that you need to do is understand your risk tolerance. So once you understand that risk tolerance, okay, this is the level of risk I think I can afford. Then do your due diligence, do your research, look at, okay, the platforms available that you think they're going to align with your own investment goals and objectives. So once you identify that, then you can now start, okay, make it up, okay, every month I'm going to be putting 20% here, 10% here, 10% here. So and another thing, like, and I feel we don't really do and we don't really pay attention to is diversification. So early when my mom gave birth to me, then she bought a stock for me then. So she bought, if now that I'm now older, I went back to, I get, okay, let's see the dividend and whatever the return on the stock is. After doing the calculation, I like, well, just leave the stock, whatever it is, because it has not appreciated and dividend does not make any relative sense. So we now need to diversify instead of putting, if my, say, quote unquote, she put some money in stocks, she did some in real estate, she put some in fixed income or some other alternative investments. So it would have been better than just putting all your eggs in one basket. So diversify. Okay, is it that you want to reinvest some of this money in your business to grow, to expand? Is it that you want to put some of this money in fixed income? Okay, just leave it there, watch it and grow relatively stable. Is it that you want to, like, whatever it is you want to, you feel like suits your own investment objectives. So try and do those assignments and let them align with your own financial objectives. So that's one thing I think we really, really need to pay attention to. So you don't just, you need to take risk at the same time. What the returns is going to be. So that's how I feel content creators and wealth builders generally can pay attention to. All right, I feel AK wants to.
Yeah,
Yes.
I want to also add something. I think that before you even get to the point, so talking about balancing risk and the need to earn a return, before you even start investing, right? There are certain, it's like it's like building a house. You don't start building a house from the roof, right? So there are certain foundational things you have to do first. So for me, I believe a good foundational aspect is understanding your income, understanding your budget. How much do you need to live on, right? And then putting away enough savings that you have an emergency fund. Because again, as a creative, you have the tendency, like, if if your project is not doing well or your income is a bit unpredictable, so you need to save enough that you have funds that will allow you to take out to, if there's any shock, you lose your income or you run into an emergency, you have some funds that can take care of you, right? Those things are the things that you need to cover first, so that, because when you start investing, no matter, like Sheriff pointed out, we have investments that are arranged from low risk, medium risk, and then high risk, right? But there's always some risk involved. So you want to cover your downside, make sure your emergency fund is there, you have a clear budget, you understand how to take care of yourselves first. And then when you now start investing, you have more confidence that no matter what happens, I'm not going to lose like the roof over my head. I still have enough money to take care of myself and recover from any potential issues before you then start your investing journey.
What you say speaks of solid financial education, which leads me to my next question. We feel like education remains like a very big challenge when it comes to people managing their finances, especially creators, right? I mean, you're a content creator, you get this big gig, and then before you know it, the money has finished. So, how is Rise educating their users, or contributing to helping creators know how to save money but also how to invest money? Basically, how is Rise helping creators be more financially literate?
Sure. So yeah, I there's a number of things that we do. So the first thing, the most important one in my opinion, is that we have our Telegram community, so the Rise Investment Club, where everyone, it's open to everybody. Excuse me, I think I just lost my power. Give me one second. But yeah,
Right.
so it's open to everybody. You can join in, you can ask questions. We share a lot of content. We share a lot of information. We share books to read. We share knowledge. Every once a month, we have a call where people come in and we take one topic. Sometimes we talk about how to invest in stocks. We talk about other things, and we have that call, and it's open to everybody. And everyone that's participated in that community has told us that it has really been instrumental in improving their financial knowledge.
Hi, Sharif, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. So I think it's
Okay, so I
network.
think we lost AK.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right,
while we wait for Ike to come
sure.
back, I think I'll just ask you a question. So for many
Okay.
creators, like you've already shared a number of things about how they can take advantage of their investing, but it can be a little hard to start. So, what advice do you have for creators who may be new to investing and are unsure of where to start?
Okay, all right. Thank you for the question. And doesn't just apply to creators only. It applies to like almost every individual. That okay, I'm looking to start my investment journey. So how do I begin? So what steps should I take? What actions should I take? So it can even be overwhelming, to be honest. Like there's crypto, there's fixed income, there's stock. So which one is which? So the
Yes.
first advice I'm going to give is learn. Like try and educate yourself a bit. So if it's a blog, so we have a blog that we usually share stuff. Any blog that you feel okay, I think I need to have a certain level of education, a certain level of knowledge, a certain level of confidence in whatever it is I want to do. So I think that's like the first thing that creators should look to do. So once you get that level of education, then you can now start defining, okay, this is my risk profile. This is what I think, this is my financial objective. So you have defined your financial objectives, you have your budget, you have your income, you know what your income stream looks like. So and then you have your budgets, probably a monthly budget or a weekly budget, depending on what your financial objective is. Then you can now start making that plan. Okay, now I think okay, over the next 10 years, I'm looking for a aggressive growth. I'm looking for aggressive returns. Okay, with this fixed income, real estate, probably stocks, or probably alternative investment, probably crypto. That's what you think. That's what your analysis is. Then probably after you can okay, the next subsequently, I want to do probably a low risk, low return. So if that's like one strategy, so the base of this is try and educate yourself, learn, read, ask questions. So ask questions if you feel okay you are not really sure what channel you need to go to, what where do you get authentic information. So the Risevest has a blog where you can read some of the interesting things we have. If not, even you can even send an email, or okay, you want a financial advisor, you want to talk to someone where you can have those discussion with you one-on-one and try and understand what your financial objectives are and what and how best to go about it. So that's another way I feel we can go about it.
Thank you so much. Back to AK, we lost you for a bit, so I was wondering if you wanted to answer that question again, the question on educating yourself financially.
Yes. So sorry for that. My internet went off when the power went out. So, like I said, our Telegram group is tailored for anybody that wants to join and learn. Literally, you can start from a beginner, a complete novice, and between a combination of the information we share, the calls that we have, the people that are available to answer your questions, you can really start to develop that financial awareness, right? Because we believe that the more knowledge you have, just like what Sheriff said, the more knowledge you have, the better the financial decisions that you're able to make. So that's the first thing. I think the second thing is start from what you already know. There's nobody that if there's nothing else, you at least know enough for what makes you money, right? You understand your own space, what you do for a living, and you find out that if you take your education and start from where you are and then widen. So if you're let's say you're a YouTuber and you know that, oh, I'm posting videos, I'm making money, but here's how much I'm, so then start to do the research on how can I go from making say $1,000 in a month to making $10,000, because that work would earn you more income. So you start from the things you already know and try and maximize the opportunities there. I think the third thing is find someone that is already knowledgeable and is ahead of you and just ask them questions, right? So if it's, for instance, someone that uses Rise and has been using Rise for a few years, you can ask them all the questions about how Rise works. So that you don't just take our word for it, you get someone who has used it before. Or if it's someone else that you can see that, okay, maybe they do what you've done, but they've largely been successful in moving their finances forward, call them and ask questions, right? Lastly, read a lot of books. I'm going to share the link to the Telegram on the channel very soon. But read a lot of books. There's all the knowledge you have is embedded in books. Search the internet, read blogs, start from Rise's blog, sign up for a newsletter. We have a newsletter called Money Rise that every Wednesday explains financial concepts to you in a way that is simple to understand. And we're not the only ones out there, right? So the more you learn and then you start to take action. Another thing I always tell people is when they say experience is the best teacher, it's very true. but try and make sure that your tuition fee is low. That is, test the waters with a small amount, with a small amount, invest a little bit, use that to understand how it works, and then you can increase, right? So that's some of the ways that I feel that you can improve your financial education. And again, it's a lifelong thing. The more you learn, the more you want to learn. But learn from people, learn from Rise, join our community, read our blog, test some experience, and start from the things you know and then branch outward. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. I love the combination of the advice that both you and Sheriff gave on how to start building your finances basically. Like so basically start with what you know, and then as you build up and you learn more, you can take more risks and gain more potential returns. So we're just going to go back to Sheriff and we are asking for tea, just a little tea, on the kind of industries or sectors you believe offer promising opportunities for creators looking to invest in 2024 so we can make informed decisions. So what industries do you feel like are going to be the in thing this year?
Thank you for that. So we are just going to make like projections based on what we are seeing and based on what the general market is looking like. So I think the song on everybody's lips right now is AI, artificial intelligence, artificial intelligence. So my own main challenge to everyone is, so how does artificial intelligence helps you? So how does it help you do a better job as a content creator? So how can you use AI to make yourself better? How can you use AI to make your work from 1x to 10x? So that's like one of the key opportunities or the places where I think everyone should be looking at right now is, okay, look at the AI. So is it, are you looking at AI to help you like edit your work better, write reports, write scripts? I don't know, just basic generally. So that's like one area I think everybody should be looking at AI. Now, looking at that in terms of with wealth creation. Now, in this, there are a lot of ways to make money right now, but there are like four mainstream. We have the crypto markets, we have the stock market, fixed income market, real estate market, and there are some other alternative markets. So we are also seeing so the first one, which is the crypto market. So we are seeing a lot of news are surrounding Bitcoin, Ethereum, and ETFs in Bitcoin. So you might not really, if you don't really understand the nuances of this market, I will not advise to go into it because one, it can be very, very volatile. So you might go to 6,000 today, tomorrow you are back at 16,000. So you just need to like understand the nuances of the markets before you probably come into the market and make any investment decision. So the second one is the stock market. So like I said, AI has been one of the key drivers of the market this year. So, but however, at Rise, so one of our own fundamental I don't know the fundamental theme at Rise is that we look for fundamentally solid companies and then we invest over the next 10 years. So look for companies that I think they are diamonds and then we invest in them and then we wait it out and the share price eventually catches up with what the company is doing. So if it's a good company, definitely markets will appreciate the good work. So that's one of the places where I think the opportunity. So the stock market. So on the real estate market also, so the US real estate market has been one of the like the best performing over the past decade. So post the great financial crisis. So the opportunity continues to exist. So for this in 2024. So for instance, so in our own in at Rise here, so we still believe over the next 10 years, the US real estate market is going to be one of the like the booming sectors. So however, just a bit contraction, but still we are optimistic and we are bullish on the market. So on the fixed income side also, so this year the fixed income looks very lucrative. So we have seen yields. This might be a bit technical, like I said. So you have seen yields rise a little bit over the last year and then this year. So we expect that to yields to come down a bit this year, and you should see some price appreciation. However, these are a bit some jargons, some technical jargons. But all in all, what I'm trying to say is that we are seeing opportunities in the US markets, in the fixed income space, in the real estate space, and then in the stock market. All these three markets, we think they're going to be significant upside, and we think wealth creators, content creators, anyone that's looking to build wealth should do some due diligence and start little and then invest in this market and see how it turns out over the next 12 months.
Guys, we're getting gems. Like we're getting gems. You should be writing notes because this is information that people used to pay money for. getting it here for free. Thank you so much, Sherry, for giving us that information. So crypto, AI, fixed income, real estate, all these things are so important, and we should be on the lookout for them this year. Denayo says yes. So I'm telling you. Okay, so back to AK. You have served, your company has served people for a very, very long period of time. And so you would probably be attuned to some of the ways people think about investing. So I wanted to know, because we have people on this call who might have some thoughts about investing. What are some of the most common misconceptions you've heard regarding investing money, and how have you worked to like dispel these misconceptions?
This is one of my favorite topics to talk about. Yes, we've seen a lot of very serious misconceptions. The first one is that, oh, you know what? I want somewhere that I'm going to put my money and then I'll blow. I'll become rich in like a year or two. And it's like that's not how it works, right? Um, you have to think about it's like gardening. You want to take a long-term approach to your investments, because if you chase those type of investments that make a lot of or promise a lot of high returns, that you're just going to put in like 1,000 and then you're going to come back and get like 10, 20,000, you're likely taking way too much risk, and you're likely going to lose. You're going to increase the odds of losing money, right? And that's if those investment opportunities are even genuine, because most investments, there has to be a way that the money you're putting in makes extra money for you. And most of the time, the more stable returns are going to make relatively small interest, but as you keep them over time, as they start to compound and they build on top of each other, they become bigger and bigger over time. So you must accept that investing well is a long-term journey. Now, there's something I tell people: no matter what we do, 20 years is going to pass. So when you tell people it takes about 10 to 20 years to really build long-term wealth, people are like, "Oh my God, that's such a long time." But the truth is that time is always going to pass. And there's a lot of people who 10, 20 years ago were like, "Oh, I want to have $1 million. I want to have $500,000." And today they don't have it. But if they had taken some of the actions that we would recommend, by today they would have it. So no matter what we do, that time is going to pass. So just take an approach that allows you to gain as time passes, so that by the time you arrive at the point where you no longer want to work, you are more likely you have the resources you need to take care of yourself. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, this one is tricky, because some people think that investment is hard, and some people think, oh, investment is easy, anybody can do it. I don't know why my power situation is really upsetting, but the truth is, investment is not the hardest thing in the world. It's not as complex as people make it sound. It's also not simple as much, right? It requires a lot of education, but once you understand it, you realize that at its core, it's about looking for ways to give up some of your money today in exchange for a higher amount in the future. And there are certain things that are common to every investment. But if you take the time and study and understand what the opportunities that you're investing, you realize that investment is easy. A third misconception is that you have to be rich already to invest. Oh, it's only when I have 1 million or 2 million or $500,000, that's when I want to start investing, because I need a lot of money to invest. That is not true. We've made it possible, not just us, but so whether it's on our Chaka products or Rise, the minimum or asset base, the minimum investment is roughly $1. So at $1. So the threshold of what you need to start is very, very low. Most of us in this room can afford, say, 10,000 naira, 20,000 naira, 50,000 naira, 100,000 naira or more. And you think, oh, that's not going to do much. But there's a reason that saying of little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. You really need to start from whatever you're making now. The last misconception I think people have is, oh, the reason I'm not financially disciplined or I cannot invest consistently is because I don't make enough money. And we always tell people that's not true. The habits you build when you're making 10,000 is what you would have when you're making 100,000, is what you have when you're making 1 million or 10 million. If you want to start practicing financial discipline, start from wherever you are. Yes, you still need to earn more income to become for your finances to improve overall, but you can start from anywhere you are and learn those habits and build those habits even before the big money comes. So there's still a whole lot of, in fact, if I want to sit on that topic alone, it might be a whole call. But I think these are some of the misconceptions that we've been able to dispel. There are people that I know, just to end with this illustration, there's someone that I know that was earning less than 100,000 a month. And a lot of people are like, oh, you can't do a lot with 100,000 a month. But she was investing 20 to 30,000 consistently, sacrificing a lot, but she was able to build up a decent enough amount of capital to invest in a business. And then the money she made from that business increased her income, which allowed her to invest more. So if you maximize the opportunities at the small level you're starting from, it will then allow you to gain opportunities to do more. So those are some of the things that people don't or misunderstand about investing that we've spent the last 3 4 years trying to help people to understand and have the correct assumption. Thank you.
And you're doing an amazing, amazing job. When you were speaking, I felt called out too because sometimes I actually believe the same thing. I'm like, oh, I don't have enough money, but really, whatever is important to you, you pull out some money to actually invest if it matters. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing. Back to Sheriff. So we talked earlier about diversifying your portfolio, right? Having like high risk, low income. We also spoke about stocks, fixed income, and real estate, and there are all these terms, right, that we have addressed today. So I wanted to ask, are there strategies that you feel people who are starting investing can apply when it comes to diversifying their portfolio? Like, is there like a percentage that you recommend usually? Yeah, just something like that.
Okay. So before I answer the question, so I'm going to give you some reasons why you actually need to diversify. So like they say, don't put all your eggs in one basket, because if that basket breaks or falls, you are gone, you are done. So that's like one of the reasons why we encourage people to diversify. Don't just put all your money in one particular asset class. So spread it out, and don't just spread it out across. Just okay, you bring in $1,000, just put down $1,000 and then leave it there. So over time, also check on those portfolios, check on those assets, how are they performing. So don't just abandon, just leave it there. Okay, my stock portfolio is in so and so amount today. Okay, this is I think I'm doing fine, I think I'm not doing fine. Ask questions. So that's like the first thing I would like to emphasize on. So why do you need to diversify? Is you need to like maximize your return while also looking at the risks related. So that's one of the first reason why people should diversify. Now, so on Rise, so what we do, we have a plan called the Build Wealth Plan, where it asks some question relating to your financial and investment objectives, and then based on those questions, it's going to recommend using some in-house tools built, and going to recommend, okay, 40% stock, 20% fixed income, and so amount percent in real estate. So the algorithm is built such that it's going to understand your investment objectives, your risk tolerance, in order to help you design a portfolio for you that well diversified across sectors, across asset class. So that's like one of the best tools I've seen like so far, that looks at your own financial objective, your risk tolerance, your investment objective, and then is able to like help you allocate what they think is going to be the best risk adjusted return for you. So because like I said, the best thing is the objective of whatever return your investment you are doing is you are looking for the best risk adjusted return. Whatever risk tolerance or risk level you are taking, the return has to compensate for it. So now that's the same what we do here at Rise. We look at what is your risk, financial objective, your investment objective, your risk tolerance, and then based on that, the algorithm collects those data and then propose, okay, use 40% stock, use 20% fixed income, and use so amount percent on real estate or other asset classes. So that's the way diversification work here at Rise. Now, if you are now doing it individually, so my own would be, okay, look at, okay, what's your income stream, what's it looking like, build emergency fund, like I said, Ike has said earlier, build emergency fund, so that you don't need to go and break your plan. Something happened, I need to go and break my plan. No, set out an emergency fund. It might be very liquid assets, probably just cash in your bank or some very liquid asset. Just set out that emergency fund and then do the other investments asset class that you need to actually do. So it's very like I'm making investments on emergency fund because we see some people they invest $1,000 today instead of it them to allow the fund grow. They want to break it because they have quick emergency. So it doesn't work that way. So compounding, like Warren Buffett said, is the eighth wonder of the world. So it works like magic. So I was giving an instance to a client that came into the office. I said, if you leave $1,000 at 10% per annum for 5 years, you're going to get like $1,700. Now leave that same $1,000 for 30 years, it's going to become $17,000. $1,000. So that's the power of compounding. So you just have to like let this fund, let it work, let your money work for you. In 24 hours, the max you can work is probably 18 hours, but your money can work 24/7 for you. So then making that money work for you means you have to allocate that money to the best risk adjusted return by diversifying across asset class and over time. So that's the best way I think we can go about it, diversification.
Thank you. So basically, Rise does the work for you. Once you create an account, it would help you to give you like an assignment that would help you figure out the best way to invest. Thank you so much for that, Sheriff. Back to AK. We have a lot of questions today, so I'm trying to round up so that we can address the audience. So the question I have for you is: could you share some success stories or case studies of creators who have benefited from Risevest?
Absolutely, yes. So let me think. So creatives, I know one of them who have was trying to do her master's. So she was a UX writer, UX copywriter, and she was trying to save up enough to go do her master's. And she used Rise to essentially create an education plan. And then whenever she made money, she converted it she funded her Rise account, converted to dollars, and invested. And she did that consistently over a 2 year period. And today she's doing her master's in Netherlands, right? So she actually wrote to us to say that Rise helped her to successfully have her achieve her goal for masters. So another person is so we've had a number of people who you're saving up for a very expensive tool, you're saving up for a laptop, a camera, and you know that these things are priced in dollars. But if you're making money in naira and you're putting funds away in dollars, you're more able to at least hit this goal and actually purchase the equipment you need to reinvest into what you do. There's a third person that she's an influencer. I almost mentioned her name right now, but she's an influencer, and she and her husband saved up for their wedding, saved up for a lot of their other things that they want to do, but they saved up for their wedding and things like furnishing their house on Rise, and they did that over. So if you want to know who they featured on one of our Valentine Day videos, so you can go back and look for that. But they used Rise to save for their wedding plan, and it took them again a year or two of planning. But because the funds were in dollars, even though price had shifted, they were still able to afford to do what they wanted to achieve. And then we have a number of people who are using Rise for their build wealth plans, who are using Rise. So there's one that spoke to me recently. He's a developer, and he's a freelance developer. So he does work on like Upwork, on all these other type of platforms. I don't know if he's a seller, but he was like, "Oh, I need something that allows me to plan my own personal pension in dollars, right? Because he earns in dollars and he doesn't want to convert it to naira." And we're like, "Oh, that's what Rise does." So he created a plan for that. So there's a number of people who are using, especially in the creative space, who are using Rise to kind of add some structure to their financial plans and their financial goals, and they're achieving those goals. So yeah, it's there's so many examples that I can share, but yeah, those are some that come to mind.
Thank you so much for sharing. I hope to listeners that this is giving you ideas of things you can do by investing your money with Rise. So back to Sheriff. My final question for you is beyond investment, how can people build wealth?
Nice, interesting one. So I'm going to reference a point AK said earlier that the first or the most important asset you have is yourself. So you need to build yourself, build capacity. Okay, if you are currently a channel of say 500 subscribers, how do you take it to 1,000? How do you take it to 5,000? So do that research, make that like whatever it is you need to do, like you need to get to that goals and objective, do them. So that's like the first thing I would say. Invest in yourself, like prioritize yourself, educate yourself, train yourself. If there is need to take any courses or any tutorial or any boot camp or any workshop that you need to do, save up, go for them. So by doing those kind of things, you are putting yourself out to be able to earn higher income. And if you can earn higher income, you have higher investable capital, and then you can deploy more funds for investment. So that's like the first one. The second one I would suggest is like build relationships. So relationship matters a lot, especially in the creative space. So you may have a feature, a collaboration with someone. Like, okay, I feel this guy is good. He does this thing. Yeah, come on board. Let's do this together. Let's partner together. So build relationship, like value those relationship, keep them up and running, and then you don't know what the future holds. So the third one I'm going to say is given the way the global world is right now, so don't just limit yourself to Nigeria or to the shore of Africa. The world is a digital market, it's a global market. So put yourself out there to the world on Upwork. We have Fiverr, we have Etsy. So look at the global audience. I'm very, very sure you most likely be, if you in your space, you might be at top 100 to top 1,000 in the world, and your skills are probably in demand, which means that you command high pricing power. So like I said, the first one is like you invest in yourself, build capacity, and then the second one is to value your relationship, look for good connections, and try as much as possible to relate with them as much as possible. And then the last point I'm trying to make is like put yourself into the global market. Don't just limit yourself to Nigeria. Don't limit yourself to Africa. Expand beyond the territories of these waters. So those are my final points. I hope I was able to answer the question.
Thank you. Yes, and also in addition to what you said, I'll also say you should create. You're a creator, so create your ebooks, create your courses, sell them on Seller. Seller, we support 13 currencies, so you don't just have limits like in Nigeria. You can sell to so many people across Africa and across the world. So create your products, the things that are in your mind, bring them out into reality, and then see your money work for you. So thank you so much, Sherry, for that. The final question is for AK. Where do you see the future of the creator economy in Africa heading, especially in terms of money and investments? And what role do you think Rise is playing in that future?
Thank you for sending me this question. So first of all, we are here for a reason, right? If we didn't think that there's opportunity in the creative economy and that Seller was doing a great job organizing and making those opportunities easier, we wouldn't be on this call. So the fact that this call is happening today, I mean, Seller has been around for a while, Rise has been around for a while, but we are here talking about this now because we are starting to realize over the years that there's this convergence between the financial world and the creative economy where we're building tools for each other, right? So that's what I see continuing to happen. Platforms like Seller will continue to pull in those of us that are handling investments, payments, other resources, so that people in the creative space would have a one-stop shop for everything that would support their creative journey, right? So I see those type of collaborations increasing, thanks to things like, again, we're speaking not just to Nigerian audiences now, we're speaking across Africa. So, and
Yeah.
I'm adding that caveat because when we are looking at things like collecting payments seamlessly in 13 currencies, those are things that allow you to essentially become global by signing up to one platform, right? So things like that will continue to happen seamlessly. Payments across whether it's crypto, other avenues will make it easy to collect payments, to do payroll, to invest, to structure your business contracts and all, so that you can operate in like in any direction that you're called upon. So things like distribution would also become more advanced. So I remember when the NFT wave came in, and you saw a lot of artists mint NFTs to take advantage of the fact that you can now create digitally and sell digitally. So we're going to see things like that happen. Networking, networking opportunities are becoming again easier. So one of the things, it also speaks to the question you asked Sheriff as well about other ways of creating wealth beyond investing. Network, I really hear like network like your life depends on it. So network, meet other people, talk to people in other parts of the world, join communities, join WhatsApp groups. It's transformation of the things you can learn just by talking to other people, right? So opportunities to share information and to collaborate are becoming easier, and we feel like that trend is going to continue. So in all, just the summary of it is that it's more and more exciting, and people are building viable careers. I mean, a few years ago, you cannot tell someone, "Oh, I'm a YouTuber for a living." Today, you see people like Tyler, and he's making a lot of money as a YouTuber. I see people print digital books and they are making a lot of money doing that. So those opportunities are just increasing. And as technology advances and opportunities to pull these different sectors together on one platform, I'm excited for creators. I'm excited for seller, and I really appreciate the work you guys are doing. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, AK. Thank you. That was a wonderful, wonderful end to our conversation today. We're going to like take the questions now from the audience before we wrap up. So the first question I think is directed towards Sheriff. It says, okay, it's directed towards AK actually. It says, thank you so much, AK. How do I create an emergency plan? So when you're speaking about creating emergency plans, this person had this question.
Sure. So basically, start from a budget, right? And you don't have to have. So there's two. People think budget is every single dime or kobo you spend, you need to write it down. That's not necessarily true. What you need to know is just know the major expenses that accounts for a comfortable life for you. So you know how much you need to for your living, for your food, for transportation, for clothing, for some social entertainment, and also whether it's gifting or tithing or whatever religious obligations. Capture all those things and say, okay, here's the amount of money that I need every month, right? Things like paying for your health insurance and your recurring payments. Capture all of them and then say, okay, I need to be able to have this amount of money times three minimum, sometimes times six, right? So between 3 to 6 months of living expenses, that's your goal, that's your target. And then this is one of the, because of inflation, unfortunately, we always recommend keeping it in dollars, because what happens is as inflation is affecting prices of everything, you realize that your money can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right.
Yeah.
So you want your emergency fund to be stable because prices are shifting so much in naira that having it in a stable currency means that even if in 6 months' time those expenses are higher than what they used to be, you probably can still afford them. The last
Yeah.
bit is choose a platform that allows you to both keep the money safe, but also have access to it easily whenever you want. And hey, I have a bias, but Rise is perfect for that. So our wallet it pays you some interest. It's in dollars. We have a Naira wallet and a dollar wallet, so you can choose whichever one you want. But you're not the funds are not locked into any timeline, so you can always withdraw them whenever you want. So it's a perfect place to go to start building your emergency fund. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. The next question says, can the link be made available for the Telegram group? Um,
I tried to post the link, but I think um, the the chat box doesn't allow me to drop a link. So anytime I
okay.
try to post a link, it wouldn't upload it. So we'll send it to you guys, and then you guys can share it to your community if anybody that wants to join.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. The next question says, can you collect payments in crypto to widen your audience? Oh,
No, no. So actually, that was me, and I was
okay.
asking, yeah, for people in creative industry, right? So if you are able to receive payments in crypto, then that means you have a wider audience. that can pay for your services on the internet. That's
Okay, because somebody else asked the same question on they said, can we collect our dividends, payments, and profits in crypto? So I think they were talking about Rise. If Rise allows them to do that.
So at the moment, if you're in Nigeria, then you can't use crypto on Rise. However, if you are in other countries where Rise is available, you do have the ability both to send in your money and also withdraw your money in crypto. So for people in Nigeria, again, we are always, if the regulations change, then those realities can change. But for now, crypto is available only for those who are not in Nigeria.
Okay, thank you so much for that. The next question says, what about myths that any online investment platform is a scam? When we were speaking about scams earlier.
Right. So that's another common misconception, right? So the truth is that there's a lot of legitimate platforms online. Rise is one, Kuda is digital only, even Seller is primarily online. However, you have to do a lot of homework to know exactly the people behind the offering, the structure of it, the regulatory environment, the licenses, their operations. It helps if they have a physical office. So do a lot of homework. But what we found is that the internet contains a lot of opportunities. So if you limit yourself to only physical investment platforms or things that you walk into a room, you will be missing out on a lot of great opportunities. There's a lot of legitimate offerings and opportunities and companies online. You just have to do enough homework to separate those that are legitimate from those that are not.
Thank you so much. So the next question says, how can I do this investing of $1 that AK Room is talking about?
So everyone, I feel you should download Rise. Download Risevest. We're on the App Store, we're on the Play Store. You can also check risevest.com. I'm going to try and see if I can put that on the chat box. I have a feeling it will not let me. Yeah, it's not going to let me. But www.risevest.com, it's a good place to get started. Again, that minimum is $1 if you're doing in dollars. But in Naira, there's really no limit on the Naira option. So start with whatever amount you want to start with, get comfortable with the platform, and then you can increase.
Okay. Thank you so much. I think that's it for today. Thank you so much, Sir AK, for speaking with us. And thank you so much, Sharif, as well, for being here. We had an amazing time learning from you, and a wonderful audience for being so engaging and for asking questions and for everything, really. My name is Treasure Kure, and I'm a content marketer here at Seller. And Seller is a creative platform that helps you to sell your digital products. We do these webinars from time to time where we invite amazing guests to speak to us on different creator related topics. And so, yeah, just stay tuned and have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. Bye, everyone.
Thanks for having us. Bye.
Bye. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Hey creator, making money from your digital products and freelancing is one thing. Investing that money wisely is another thing. If you're looking for a platform you can use to invest your money wisely, save in a stable currency, and build wealth, I'm happy to introduce to you Risevest. With Risevest, you can invest in global stocks, real estate, and fixed income bonds. Start investing and building wealth from the comfort of your home today. You can go to www.risevest.com to learn more, or download the app from Google Play or your Apple App Store. What's more, the first 100 creators who sign up on Risevest with this coupon code get a $10 bonus when you fund your Risevest account. Quickly go to www.risevest.com to learn more, or download the app on Google Play or your Apple App Store.
Being a creator is a lot. We understand the effort you put into your creative work, always showing up and delivering value. We see you. As a creator, we know you need to be supported. And that's why Show Love by Seller was created just for you. Show Love enables you to easily accept tips and donations from your supporters and fans all over the world. With Show Love, your fans, community, audience, and followers can now reward you for all the hard work you put in. What's more, you can receive these tips and donations from anyone, anywhere in the world. To get started, all you have to do is go to www.seller.co/showlove, fill in your details, and in less than 5 minutes, you can set up your Show Love page and start accepting tips. It's as easy as ABC. So what are you waiting for? Over 10,000 creators are using Show Love, and you should be one of them.